Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, this is an amazing moment. I was reminded by the Spirit of love to come before you today and to speak a message to Black people, to remind Black people that you are one of the most specific, designed individuals for a specific, designed purpose in life. We have been under oppression. We have been under a form of bondage since the understanding of who we really are was made known or perceived. You see, there is nothing that we cannot do as Black people. And that is because in our DNA, we are connected with truth. We know that there is a God. We know that there is an invisible God. Deep down inside, we know this. This is why we've always been able to do great things. You've heard about histories of the activities of Black people when white people were not even known to exist. You've heard it. Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but the magnificent, monumental things that Black people have always been able to do. And it has always been obvious until a lie came into the scene, a lie of deception that was to deceive Black people, to take them off of the track of which they stood. It took time. It took generations and centuries, but it worked to a degree. That is this, ladies and gentlemen. I just said that to lead you to this point. In America, we have a crooked, America has a crooked president violating all the rules. And it has been labeled as a white supremacist act. And that is because no other gentleman, no other man that's not white could have pulled us off. Wouldn't have been allowed to do it because the laws, the Constitution, and everything, even the Supreme Court, the Congress, designed to protect the people from what is happening. And they people are not protecting it. You see, that's because they are that far from God. They are that far from the truth. And so, in order to maintain what they have accepted as a way of life, they are willing to break all the rules. They're willing to break all the rules to protect their form of life. And as they break those rules or these rules, there are consequences. And we, people of the Black persuasion, we're in the middle of this ship. We're in the middle of the soup. And if this soup spoils and rottens, we're in the middle of it. If it rolls off the cliff, we're in the middle of it. That means we are given the responsibility. We have the authority with truth to stand up and do the right thing, to save ourselves, to save America. And the means of doing this is by institutionalizing within our existence the realization, the establishment, and acceptance of the invisible power that is responsible for this earth, responsible for this grass, responsible for these trees, responsible for this cloud, responsible for everything that exists. Give that our loyalty. Honor that instead of democracy or socialism or communism or dictatorships and this ism and that ism and some man that wants to prove his power by being willing to kill, to murder, to slaughter. You see, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way of people who don't know God. It's just not Americans. Everybody got their way of doing it, but it's all messed up because they don't know God. They have no respect for God. So they could never bring peace, not here in America or anywhere in the world. They can never do it. Why? Because their existence is predicated on the fact that there is no peace. There is no justice. Oh, you can pretend, but when you get right down to it, you find out just like no man's above the law, they said, until you get right down to it. And now you see it. So what am I saying? I'm saying to you, one of the other ways that they have institutionalized slavery in our minds is through the Bible. If you, and I'm speaking to most Americans know nothing about our beginnings. Most Americans know nothing about the fact that there were books that were eliminated from the book of the Bible. Many Americans know nothing about that, especially black people, because they weren't told that. They were given the negative information about what the possibilities that they could have engaged in, might have been engaged in, might have done. They haven't been given any of that information, and for the most part, hey man, it's like somebody taking the cuffs off you. One of the first things you want to do is run and breathe. And since that happened, it seems as if that's what we, for the most part, have been doing, running and breathing. But now we are in a situation that is calling for us to be more than that, to do more than that, to be what we were made to be. And that's to give God glory in the middle of this hell. To let the people know that whatever they are doing, it's not even trying, it can't be right. It ain't gonna never work. It's never gonna work. The plan to work is this. God gave the earth all that it is, the resources included, and you and I. And everything that God fixed to maintain itself does. And he gave us that too, but he gave us choice. We don't have to. And every time we go off the track, we will be having the evidence of it, just as God has the evidence of God. And so here we are. We as black people, hey, but then there are those who came up with the scriptures and want to change it around, eliminated books from the Bible, making sure that black people didn't know certain things, making sure that what they wanted to do, and that was to throw God out of the way and create God in their own image for us to be controlled by. And here we are today in that pot, on that ship. And the inspiration today is to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are the children of God. Somebody say God's Israel. Israel says that they are the children of God, the Israelite. Okay? They say they're the children of God. But who does God say is the children of God? Hmm? God says the children of God are those that are obedient to God and are loyal to God. Those are the children of God. If you're not loyal to God, then what is God about? God is about everybody who's on this earth having that which is required to maintain yourself, existence, food, clothing, shelter. These things are absolutely necessary. Survival. Now to progress, you need education, you need health care if something goes wrong. You need everything that God has fixed to come through the minds and hands of men. That's God's gift. This is God's gift. So, how does it work? Each of us got a career, got a job. I'm saying it to you like this because I got it probably on every video because I want you to know the story. But today is just, I usually talk to everybody, but today I want to talk to the black people because you can see it. You can understand God. Nobody in America. Let me tell you, ask you, what white man could understand God to this extent? That peace on earth, prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness. What white man, what white preacher in the past have ever seen it like that and advocated it like that? What politician, what preacher, what social scientist, what anybody white have seen it like this and advocated and committed themselves to it? No, baby, that doesn't happen. Black people die all the time. Why? Because it's the highest award that you can get for glorifying God. God takes you out of this pot of stench. He delivers you from that boat that's going over the cliff. The highest award as well as reward for honoring God. So we know that, so we can stand up for God. We know the anti-God needs to be taught the truth, and that means we must not go along with it. What that means is this: is that we must represent God's way. That is, that everybody got a career, everybody got a job, and choose a job that you love, because the job that you love will give you your reward, which is joy. That's your payment. Is joy, not $1 million, not $2 million. No, joy. The world can't give it. The world can't take it away. The world can give you money and take it away, but it can't give you joy. And that's the most precious thing of all. And in the process, what are you actually doing through your careers? You are creating that which I just got through mentioning, fulfilling your needs, your wants, and your desires. That's what you're doing. And all the time being open to receive what God is sending next through someone that we can all, or as many as necessary, engage ourselves in to cause the manifestation thereof. My, oh, my, oh, my. And so that way we don't lie, we don't cheat, we don't have to. Everybody's satisfied. This is a fulfilled, satisfied life. So I'm offering a message that many of you haven't heard, Black people. It is us, we the Black people, who can feel the power of God. And God is calling on us to give God's representation, to show white people what the God of love is like, to be a teacher of God's love, and stop trying to follow these evilness, all these anti-God ways. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of got up into it and said a whole bunch of different things going on, but I'm sure that I ended up saying the real thing. That is, the power of God's love to be expressed in America is going to come by the hands of Black people. White people can't do it because they don't know it. So you got to show it. Amen. Amen.